Hi, in this video I want to talk about a platform that basically changed my life and the way I look at planning, the way I look at structuring, the way I can be on top of things. So just as some background information, first of all, my name is Spike, and I am running a marketing agency in which I help clients with their Facebook ads. So running an agency kind of requires you to be on top of what your clients want and what kind of campaigns you will be running, what will be coming in the future, what feedback do they have, etc., etc. And I used to be doing this through Google Drive, just to have some folders and some things. Before that, I even had Google Docs just to write it down, and before that, I even had notes, just writing it down manually on my hand. And I kind of upgraded and upgraded and upgraded and upgraded. Eventually, when I got to ClickUp, maybe some of you know it, maybe you don't. ClickUp is an amazing platform, not to say anything bad about it, but I used this platform which is called Monday.com. I used it 2 days, and then I moved my whole planning, my whole my whole CRM, everything. I moved to Monday.com just within 2 days of using it. So that's why I'm making this video. I think a lot of people could benefit from this platform, and I believe that Monday.com is not explaining in their ads enough about the possibilities that this platform actually has in terms of the productivity that you can increase, the way you feel more, hands-on on everything that you do, but also the automation possibilities that you have with this platform. They have a lot of integrations with so many different other platforms, Facebook ads and different HubSpot and different platforms, everything that you can think of basically. And even if they don't have a direct integration, you can integrate it with Zapier. And you still have, and if you don't know Zapier is kind of like the middleman to connect platforms. So there's so many possibilities. I just want to cover that in a video and see if you like it. To be super honest, yes, I will put an affiliate link as well downstairs in the description. But let's just get started into this video and see what the possibilities are on Monday.com. Okay, so once you've chosen the package and you have logged in, you will be taken to your dashboard, and this will kind of look like this once you've made a board. So it will be empty for you, but I'm already using it. So just to give you a brief explanation of how it works, you have Workspaces, which are basically different accounts, you could say. It's just a different workspace in which you have different boards. Then I have different folders. So for instance, here I have my folder planning, which I have a dashboard, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. This is all just my planning, just to have an overview of what I have to do which week and what I have to do per day. And then I have some other boards as well, and we can go to for instance, this business as well. So here I have all my clients, and all my clients have the task overviews, but all my clients also have each individual board per client, just to have an idea of what they are doing. But let's go back to the first one. I want to show you the types of boards that you can actually make. So let's create a new board, and we can do this by visiting the templates. And they have so many templates already done for you, already ready that you can use. You can just here have a look, browse per category. Let's say you're in marketing. You can have a board for creative requests. You can have a board for email marketing, campaign planning. You can have forms as well. And that's really cool. So when someone fills in that form, it will be added, their sign up will be added to the board. You have different integrations. So for instance, you have a Hootsuite, Monday board, whiteboard. There is so many types of boards that you can use for marketing. And this is just marketing. This is not even, like, as you can see, there's a lot of different categories that they have. So for now, I just want to show you how it works. So let's just pick one, and then we can, let's say this one. I just want to show you how this works. So you press use. You can also do it from scratch. You can just have an empty board, and you can make it yourself. But obviously, this is a lot faster. So for instance, they already made it for you: upcoming projects, needs approval, active projects. So this is in 3 stages of the board. And you can just make new things here. So let's remove these for now. So I can just select them here, and I can delete them here. So let's say one of the upcoming projects that I'm using is a creative process. So let's say one of the upcoming projects is update website I'm just saying something. This is non-relative, obviously. So one of the things that you have as a column is sub-items. So for instance, update website consists of change pop-up, and we can have change domain URL. We can have fix homepage, something like this. It's just different steps within this project. And then you can assign owners, so who actually needs to do this subtask. So you can, assign a team member. For instance, I can assign Arlene. Arlene is a team member of me. I can assign it to her. She will get a notification that she is assigned to this project and that she has to finish it. And then you have status. So how is it going? And then, for instance, you can add a date of when it has to be done. So I can change this to due date. And I can write that down so you have an idea of when it has to be done. But I can also add different columns. For instance, let's add a text column. And this text column, we can say notes, for instance. So let's say I'm using a pop-up, choosing the right app now. So for instance, I can put a note here, or I can give myself a reminder. Let's say last app didn't work. So for instance, if you're working on a lot of different projects, and this is very nice to have some notes to understand, oh yeah, I was working on this and this was the last thing that I discovered about it. So that's one of the things. You can add columns even to the sub items. You can also do this on the main items. So let's get this back. You can here add different columns. You have more columns, and here you can add a load of different columns. You can have text, long text, links, checkboxes, clocks, phone numbers, files as well. So let's add files. So here with files, you can import them directly from Google Drive, from Dropbox, but also just upload them from your computer onto the platform. And this is really useful for having all your stuff in one place and all your projects and all the files that it needs into one place. So that's really cool. One of the other things that I want to mention is that, I want to mention the integrations and the automations. So this is kind of how it works. So I want to show you how you can automate one of these boards. So for instance, on the left side, we have the different automations that you can use. Let's say status change. So when a status changes, move item to group. I want to use this for now. So let's say when status changes to working on it, move item to needs approval. Something like this. We can use, let's use it like this. So I add that to board. And here you will have the automation, and then let's try it out, and then we change the status to working on it, and it will move the item automatically to this subcategory. And in this way, it's very easy to find the individual projects within the different stages of the delivery. If you have, for instance, a photography business, or if you have a web design business, this can be very useful for you. One of the other things that you can do as well is that you can, for instance, automatically, here you have a new feature which is really cool. You can create your own automation. So let's say when status changes to status, so let's say the normal status changes to working on it, I want to assign myself as the owner of that specific task. Plus, what I want to do after that, I want to send an email, and you can integrate this easily with Gmail. You want to send an email, and here you can just write it, new working on it project, and then I can even use hi owner, this is the project, and this is when it has to be done. And here you have item name. And then so basically it will just pull in this information from the board. So it will say this is the project, and then the project name that we just made a I think it was website update, and then you have when it has to be done, which is going to be the due date. And we just pull this from the board. So who do we want to send this to? And you have an email column. So for instance, if you're using emails as one of the columns in your board, you can just send it to the emails that are filled in there. But you can also select team members or people that are added to your board. But in this case, I just want to do it to me. So we create this automation, and every time that the status changes to working on it, I will be assigned to the task. I will be sent an email about this project. So this is really cool. You can easily send people updates about what is going on with each project, and this can be very useful when using this for clients, but also for team members to give automatic updates without having to plan another call or have a Zoom call or have to text them or send them emails automatically. This is, or what do you call it, manually. This is all done automatically, which saves you a lot of time on just talking. So one of the things that I want to mention as well, for instance, here, back to my planning. No, let's start with the integrations first. So I'll just briefly scroll through the integrations that they have. As you can see, there are integrations with Facebook, Gmail, HubSpot, LinkedIn, MailChimp, Outlook. So all your emails basically can be sent automatically, which is very nice. They have integrations with Slack, Zoom as well. There is so many Shopify, etc., etc. So there's so many different integrations that you can use, and these are direct integrations. But there's also a lot of integrations through Zapier. So I'm not sure if you know this platform. Zapier is kind of the middleman between platforms, so it connects platforms on their platform, which is really cool. I'll just log in real quick, and I'll show you a bit how that works. All right. And I'll put my own. All right. So when you made a Zapier account, you can come to this page, and then you can say, for instance, let's say Google Forms. Let's say you're using Google Forms as intake forms, and we want to have Monday. So the integration, let's say you have a new response on your Google Forms. Then what you want to do is create an item in your board. So for instance, you can have your whole CRM system and kind of your intake system. You can have this all on Monday.com. I'll just show you briefly what we have for a client. So we made a form in which they can, he's a photographer, we made a form in which they can enter their information, and it will be all added to his boards automatically, which is really nice for him, just to save some time on finding who did what and who wants what, etc., etc. So I'll just briefly show you. So if we go to pipeline, here we have leads, and in leads, all the we're currently still updating the board, so that's why it's not in use. So every time someone fills in that form, all their information will be put here into different rows, which is really nice. So he has all his leads on the same place. Then he can update the status just like we did before into invoice sent, when he sent a proposal or when he sent the invoice to them. And when they are paid, he can change the the status to invoice paid, and they will be added to the current projects. And the current project is subdivided into different stages, as you can see. So in this way, he kind of has his own, lead system, but also his project management into one place, which is on Monday.com. So let's go back to my board here. Yeah. So now that I've shown how a normal, this is a basic board, I will show you the possibilities that you have on a basic board besides adding items and adding owners and doing automations. If you go to one of the boards, and here I have daily, you have the ability to add a view. And views, you have different abilities, for instance, to do graphs. So this is really cool. So for instance, here I have per week, how many hours am I spending on certain things. So for instance, I can see here in the week of 29 November, I've been working 18 hours. Here on the week of 6 December, I've been working only 13 hours. And on the week of 13 December, I've been working 15 hours. So in this way, and here for instance, I have the type of task that I've been doing. For example, 15 hours of learning, 32 hours of having contact, and contact could be calls, and then 200 hours of tasks. So in this way, you can do this completely in the way that you want to do. This is just what I have, so this gives me a bit of overview of how much time I'm spending on what. But as you can see, besides the normal main board, you can have different views. So you can have all the information from the main board, for instance, filtered or put into graphs in views. And this is really nice to give you some overview. Also, if you have, for instance, if you're a personal trainer, this is a bit further away, but I still want to mention is that if you are a personal trainer and you have your client data coming in, so for instance, you have a Google form in which you are tracking the growth of your clients, so for instance, if they're losing weight, etc., you can automatically make a graph on Monday.com showing their progress, and this is really cool to use. So let's go to one of my business boards. Let's just use the one for my client. It's a bit easier. So the nice thing is about Monday.com is that you can use every aspect of your business into Monday.com. So here we have overview, and overview is just a general tasks that have to be done. It's a similar board, but then subcategorized per category of his business, what has to be done. Then we have the pipeline. I showed this in a bit. He has quite some, some automation. So for instance, when a current project is done, the item for the client will automatically be duplicated into old clients. So in this way, he can automatically send emails. Here we have emails in which we wait until a certain time period, and then, for instance, we ask the new clients that just are added to the old client board for a review. So in this sense, your post sales and your pre-sales, it's all automated, and that saves a lot of time and manual checking on who is where and what was the last time you talked to that person. So this gives you a good overview of where you are in your sales process, but also in your delivery process. Then we have something really cool, which is the communications overview. So we have an integration used with Quickly, and Quickly gives the ability to connect your Instagram, your Facebook, your Gmail, your WhatsApp, all to this app, and this app is then connected to Monday.com, which makes it possible to show all your messages that you're getting into one board. And the nice thing is you can also reply to those messages from this board. So to reply to this message, I just have to press Start Conversation on this side. Then I will go to the tab of Chat, and I'm not logged in right now, so I won't be able to show you how it works. But from here, I can just reply to this text from this chat. So I don't have to log into Instagram. This is just an all-in-one place for all your communication. And something I forgot to mention with the normal boards and with other boards. So for instance, here, if I have an item and I need to describe a little bit better how I've been working on it, I can see here, working on week 3 of email marketing right now. So for instance, I can write here, I am working on week 4 now. And then I can add files. I can also mention team members, just to give them an update on how I'm doing with this task. This could be your manager, or this could be you as the business owner, so that your team can keep you updated on how everything is going. Then you have all the files from this specific task that you can find here, and you have an activity log if you want to see that. So this way I could just update it, and then you can see all the different updates that are posted here, and you can also write them via email. Again, here you have the different views as well. You have different integrations with different platforms. I don't want to make it too complicated, but this is a possibility. So that's it. This is all the boards that you can use. And again, there are so many boards that you have to discover and that you can use for all your different aspects of your business. For instance, here we have marketing, we have Facebook ads. So you have a direct integration with Facebook ads to show your campaigns, and this can be nice for your clients. So let me just go real quick to a different business. Sorry, this isn't this one. So for instance, here with my clients, we have client worksheets. And on the client worksheet, I actually invite the marketing manager of this client to come and look at these boards so that we have a good communication of what campaigns will be set up, how we will be setting up. They can give feedback, they can give updates, and this kind of reduces the amount of texts and the amount of calls that you have to do because everything is just in here. So we have an overview of what has to be done. It is kind of similar to the board that we just viewed. Here we have a campaigns board, and the campaigns gives a good sense of what we can do. So for instance, we have here a draft subcategory, and I'm just adding new campaigns that we could put in here on Facebook. And then when I'm done with it, so when I have added my ad copies and my ad creatives, I will add them. I will change the status to in review, and once it is put into in review, the marketing manager of that company will be sent an automatic email stating that I have added a new campaign into the review section. So if they want to review it and give their feedback, so that I can adjust it before scheduling this campaign. So here, for instance, as you can see, I have just added files directly from Drive, from Google Drive, and the ad copies, and then here the ad creatives, and they can give feedback on the campaign. Once they give feedback, they can change the status themselves, or I can change it to scheduled, and it will be put here. And once something is added into scheduled, you can send yourself an automatic email that the client has given feedback and that you can plan them in this case, Facebook. And this is really nice for marketing agencies that can use this, and maybe you can already tell how you can use this in your own business, how you can have different stages, and how you can invite your clients to their own boards. And this is really easy to do. So if you want to invite your client to a board, you have to make sure that your board type is shareable, and it will have this kind of share icon. And once you have done that, you can invite here people on the top right side, and you can just easily type an email address. So let's use one of my other email addresses here. So, and I can just invite with the email and invite as a guest. This doesn't cost them any money, and this doesn't cost you any extra money either. So that's really nice. You can just add people for free, and they can view the board, and they can make adjustments as well. It's not just view only, they can make adjustments as well. So that's really, really cool. So this is basically how Monday.com works and the possibilities that you have. Again, this is a really quick recap of the possibilities. There is so many things that you can do and that you should discover. Again, the integrations with other platforms are so many, and this gives you a good, chance of automating your business and keeping your business as structured as possible. I've been using this for a bit now, and I'm very happy with the way it shows me a visual overview of where I am with my businesses, but also in personal life, what I have to do, and who I have to call and when I have to call, and the automatic reminders that you can put on if you want to. So lastly, I want to go over the pricing, and you can find that here on this page. There is a couple of plans. So you have an individual plan, which is free forever. You can always use this. It is kind of limited in a sense that you don't have the same functionalities as a paid plan, obviously. So for instance, the graphs are not a possibility, and some different options are not a possibility. So you have a basic plan, which is good. I'm currently on the pro plan because I'm using a lot of like chart view and like different. I want to have access to all the integrations that they have. I want to have a lot of automations. So this is very. This is kind of I kind of needed this package. So you pay per seat, and the minimum is 3 seats. So the total would be $48 a month, which is about $60 a month, which is really good. If you can put your whole business processes here, and if you can run your whole business from this platform, I think $60 is definitely worth it. Alright, I hope this video explained to you what the possibilities are on Monday.com. Maybe you've already thought of some ideas that you can implement. I really recommend you to just have a free trial. I think there's a 14-day free trial. You can just use it. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to even have to put in your credit card info, for what I know. And you can just try it out and see if it's something for you. If it is, then it's amazing. If it isn't, that's also good, but at least you know. So I really encourage you to use my affiliate link down. If you don't want to use it, also fine, but again, that would be really good. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I gave you some good info on what you can do and what you can't do. And I hope to see you in the next video.